What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel as we continue on to episode 4 of my Bootcamp journal. And now we're going to start getting into more of like the after P days, when things start getting real and you start practicing all of this other stuff. Day 11. Apparently we don't officially complete P days until Tuesday, so that's why we weren't able to write tonight. Still, I think it's bullshit, but my opinion doesn't matter here. I'm going to start writing letters anyway and put them in my A and B drawer. From what I'm told, they're not allowed to check those drawers, so I'm good to go. I feel like saying a few words to my wife would really help me cope with her not being here. Writing in this journal can only help me so much. Now that I think about it, Bootcamp is probably designed this way, on purpose. They want us to break ties with the outside world for a little while to see how we handle it. The fleet will be much worse. 8 weeks compared to 9 months. When we met with the chaplain the other day, he told us that we chose a very lonely profession. And now I understand why. It is very true that Bootcamp is designed to break you of everything that you once knew and rebuild you from the ground up. And the chaplain did tell us that we chose a very lonely profession. And I can tell you right now, that's not true. Because you're going to miss your family when you're out in the fleet. When you go underway, when you go on deployment, things like that. You're going to miss your family. That's just a given. However, you build relationships and friendships that are going to last forever. Today was a relatively easy day. Aside from getting dropped a couple times, nothing real significant happened. And my watch this morning went well. I got asked multiple questions regarding the chain of command and got all of them right. I almost got dropped for answering one wrong, but I corrected myself at the last second. One of my RDCs said, "Oh, motherfucker, that was close. You almost got your ass beat." While holding up the orange card of workout routines. Oh well, haha, a win is a win. So I remember this. It was one of the only times that our RDCs came in the building and I had to stop and think about the chain of command, because the way it was, like, I studied the chain of command, the list that my recruiters gave me, and then when I got to boot camp, their list was slightly different or didn't have as many people on it. And then when we got our actual book, all of that stuff came back. So I forgot who these people were, and then I had to relearn them. And so it was kind of confusing. The list that your recruiters give you, if they give you a list, definitely study that one and remember that one, because that'll help you out a lot. Chow was pretty awesome today too. In celebration of the Super Bowl, we had a barbecue-style chow for both lunch and dinner. I'm pretty sure the fact that it's Super Bowl day saved our asses at TAPS as well. They let us go to bed at 2000 rather than 2200. Now that either means Chief wanted to catch the end of the Super Bowl, or we're getting fucked over in the morning. All I know is I'm taking advantage of the extra sleep. So I don't watch football a whole lot, and I don't remember who was playing at that point in time, whoever played last Super Bowl. But that was definitely an easy day. The food was great. They had a whole celebration-style dinner. I just finished helping a fellow recruit study some of his general orders. It helped keep my mind occupied from this shit show to help someone else out that was struggling. I think I might try to start a study group of some kind. It just sucks that TAPS is really the only time we have to accomplish things like this. I just have to remember, this is normal. Everything we're going through together, and that's how we will get through it, together. So, your RDCs will give you times throughout bootcamp to study, because you take multiple tests throughout bootcamp, and your accrued score becomes part of your divisional score. You get all these different flags that you get to march with, and the education flag is one of those things. So if your division scores a certain score as a whole, then you'll get the education flag. But if you score too low on the next test, you can lose the flag. So you got to be careful. You got to keep studying, keep going, because it's not common for divisions to have all of the flags when they're marching, and it just makes your division look really good, something to be proud of. Being in laundry crew is proving to have some serious benefits. It gets some of the guys and I away from all the shit that goes on in the compartment for a bit and gives us a break. I wasn't aware that the privilege would come with some outrageous expectations, though. The laundry room has to be absolutely spotless. And when I say spotless, I mean spotless, inside and out. That means the washers can't have even one hair in them, not a single droplet of water. The dryers have to be 100% lint-free on all surfaces in and out. It's a little stressful, but that's the name of the game, unfortunately. So, being in laundry crew does come with some serious benefits. You can go to early chow, you can skip the morning cleanup, the morning beating. You get to get away from certain things. If you're going to some sort of marching practice that you don't want to go to, just say, hey, I have laundry to do, and you can stay in the laundry room and get it done. But it does come with some crazy expectations. The laundry room has to be completely spotless. I mean, there can be absolutely nothing in the dryers when you're done with them. Nothing in the washers. So if you're doing morning routine or something like that, or evening routine, whatever it was called, and you're washing clothes, you better make sure that the washers are completely dried out. Keep some rags on hand. You have to completely dry it out. I mean, there can be nothing. All of the spray bottles have to be filled up to the same exact spot. They all have to be facing a certain direction. All of the irons have to be wrapped the same way, facing a certain direction. I mean, when I say boot camp is highly based off of attention to detail, I mean it. Day 12. P-days are officially over. They say that things get a lot better from here on, but we will see. We did a whole lot of nothing today again, which always makes the days drag on and on. We did, however, get to leave the compartment for a little while and march in the snow, but that turned into a disaster real quick when we got into the drill hall and couldn't get our shit right. One of our RDCs gets so pissed off when we don't do things to his exact instruction, but what he doesn't seem to realize is he's absolutely terrible at explaining things. Yes, God. A couple of my RDCs could never agree on things, or things constantly change in boot camp, and so one RDC does things one way, one RDC does things the other way. And if you do things one RDC's way, the other RDC isn't going to know about it, and so they're going to scream at you for it, and it's just, ugh. Some of them are terrible at instructions. That was one of the biggest hurdles we had to take in boot camp, was trying to figure out what the hell this guy wanted. He expects us to think like him, but not all of us operate with a hamster wheel like he does. He goes from 0 to 100 so fast, and it's completely unnecessary. He constantly tells us to ask questions if we don't understand something, but then calls us retarded for asking. Today he called a recruit pizza face, and that pissed a lot of us off. There's no reason for someone to get personally attacked or made fun of like that, but he is just a Class A asshole. Our other RDC, on the other hand, is awesome. He's an asshole too, but much more tolerable. He's a funny asshole, but he's a good teacher. He goes into depth with things and answers our questions when we have them. A lot can be learned from him. Our chief is awesome also. He's one classy dude till you piss him off. Then he's a little scary. Anyways, back to topic. In the drill hall, I made my first notable mistake and forgot which direction to look while marching. My RDC noticed and got in my face, screamed at me, said some things that I don't even remember, and then looked at my name on my uniform and said he was going to document in my hard card that I had an attitude problem and refused to listen, all because I got choked up for a minute. Whatever, dude. Do your worst, because we all know you're all bark, no bite. I didn't take it personally at all, and I knew he wasn't going to document a damn thing. Which he didn't. I mean, I never heard anything about it afterwards. I actually completely forgot about this until just now. When you're marching down in the drill hall, they tell you to look left or something like that as soon as they say something, and if you don't do it, they're going to notice, they're going to yell at you that you didn't do it right. But he got in my face and he asked me a question. He's like, what, are you retarded or something? And I just froze. I didn't know what to respond with. He looked down at my name on my uniform and told me he was going to mark it in my hard card that I had an attitude problem, which I thought was kind of funny. I was like, whatever. We lost another guy today. I'm pretty sure he went home considering he was an ASMO in, meaning that he was ASMO'd once prior to joining our division, and you're only allowed to get ASMO'd once. I'm not so sure that that's actually true, because I've heard of people getting ASMO'd several times before actually getting kicked out. So what ASMO'd means is basically you do something and you screw up in your division, and they basically set you back in training. There are lots of things that you can do to get ASMO'd. You can fail a test, you can fail a PRT, you could, if your RDCs just plain don't like you, they can ASMO you and set you back in training to where you don't graduate for an additional 3 weeks or a month or however long they feel, really. I guess one of my fellow laundry POs helped him pack his things, and the ASMOE told him he had no idea why he even came here, and now it's got him thinking the same thing. I'm doing my best to try and keep him motivated, but he misses his girlfriend, and I don't blame him at all. We all do. It breaks some of us and makes others stronger. It's natural when put in an unfamiliar place under stressful circumstances. I told him to stick it out at least one more week. It takes 21 days to break a habit, and that's why they cut us off from the outside world for 3 weeks. Pretty genius, to be honest. Yeah, one of the guys in our division got asthma into our division, and so he did something, I don't recall what it was. I think he failed his first PFA or something like that, and so he was getting kicked out, or he was getting asthma again. And as one of my friends was helping him pack his stuff to go to his next division, he told him that, I don't even know why I came here. And then it got my friend thinking the same thing. And so I basically just had to try to egg him on and convince him, you came here for a reason, just stick it out, you can get through this. Whenever we get free time in the laundry room, we talk about things we miss the most. For one guy, it's cuddling with his dogs. For another, it's his girlfriend. One of our other friends hasn't really clarified what he misses the most yet, and for me, it's obvious. My family, of course. But I could settle for fitted sheets at this point. When you're in boot camp, you have to learn how to do your rack a certain way, and you got to put 45-degree angles in the sheets, otherwise they'll rip your sheet off and tell you to redo it. And it's a pain in the ass to figure out how to do it at first. Like, you have to have the RDCs show you multiple times, and it's the simplest thing ever once you learn it, I guess. It's a pain in the ass to figure out at first. Day 13, week 1, tack 1. First day of official boot camp has come to an end, and oh boy, was it an eventful one. We had our swim quals today, so we all marched our happy asses 1.5 miles back to the Pearl. I was stoked about doing the swim test for quite a while, so I was more than happy to march in the snow. Marching in general still sucks though, because we're so bad at it. Our RDC just yells at us the whole time. It's not a pleasant experience, but we suck it up and do it anyways because we have to. Just keeping in step and all that, it's a pain in the ass. The swim quals were nothing like I expected them to be. The swim instructors were just as big of assholes as the RDCs, which took all the fun out of it. Not to mention the test itself was just odd. We had to jump off a 10-foot platform into the water and swim around the edge of the pool. Now I know I'm a decent swimmer, but being put into that environment made my anxiety spike dramatically. This also made my swimming abilities look and feel like shit. So, you get into the swim place, right, and you think, oh yeah, we're going to go swimming, it's going to be great. No, it's not. I feel like the swim instructors were worse than the RDCs. Like, because they're new, and you've kind of gotten used to your RDCs a little bit now, so you kind of know what to expect. But you're going there, and you think it's going to be fun to swim for the first time in boot camp, and it is not fun at all. So don't expect it to be. They're assholes. As soon as I jumped and got submerged in the water, it felt like I had a mini panic attack. I swam to the surface and tried swimming and looked so sloppy that they made me do the backstroke method the whole way. So I know I'm a good swimmer, but I don't know, like, something about it just... Maybe it's because I hadn't been swimming in so long that I don't know, it freaked me out. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means I'm nowhere near as good a swimmer as I thought I was. The next part of the test was a 5-minute prone float. Basically, all you have to do is put your face in the water and float there like you're dead. You can pop up for air as much as you need to, but you have to do it correctly. I know for a fact that I can hold my breath for at least 30 seconds, but because I couldn't slow my heart rate down to save my life, I couldn't stay under the water for more than 5 seconds at a time. Every time my face went under, I panicked. One of the instructors asked me multiple times if I was okay, and I shrugged it off like I was totally fine. Third part of the test was a coverall flotation fill. Also very weird, but handy. All we had to do was shove air into our coveralls while submerged. It was ridiculously easy. Final step was rescue procedures, in which they made me the leader. We just had to jump off a platform again, this time wearing a life vest, and swim to a raft where I had to safely get everyone inside. Easy stuff. I ended up passing my swim quals, and we were off back to the compartment. Only problem with that was we had to march in formation again, which we still suck at it. So our RDC screamed and yelled and screamed some more, and when we got back to the compartment, we got our asses beat. And this time it was bad. We were all drenched in sweat by the time we were finally done. The nice thing is that my body is starting to get used to this. I'm not so sore all the time. We got saved by the bell once again when chow time came around, even though we had to eat dinner on our sweaty ass NWUs. So we ate dinner, came back, started our laundry, and that's when I got the most eventful news of the day. I don't even remember what it was. We're about to find out. Oh, yeah. Shit. My RDC decided to make me section leader. All that hard work of doing my best to keep my name out of the RDC's mouth was now ruined, and now I'm in charge of a whole section of the compartment, and a whole section of when we're marching. Fucking joy. I really don't want to be a section leader. I just want to get in, get out, and move on. But that plan is shot now. When I asked a fellow recruit why they chose me, he said that they went through our racks when we were at swim quals, and of the 78 recruits in our division, because we lost 10 already at this point, they liked mine. 6 of us were chosen. Pretty proud of that, to be honest, but it still sucks. Being a section leader also means we have to wake up before everyone else and head to early chow, but also means I don't get the rude wake-up call from the RDCs anymore. Being a section leader, you're in charge of an entire section of the compartment, which means that if their rack is off, you're responsible for it. You're kind of responsible for making sure all of the people in your section's racks are perfect, inside and out. So you got to open up their racks and basically just go through them and make sure they're good. But it also means, so the only way that you can do this is to do it while nobody's there. And so what we would do is all the section leaders would wake up early and we would go to eat before everybody else, while everybody else is cleaning the compartment and getting beat for not cleaning the compartment. Then we would come back up, they would go to chow, and then that's when I would take one of these notebooks and I would go through everybody's racks and document who was lacking in this area, who needed to fix this, what they needed to fix, and it helped out my section a lot. It also means I'm part of division front now, so when we get in the height line to go anywhere, I'm in front. It has big perks, but anyways, it's bedtime for me. Good night, Willow and Delson. Daddy loves you both so much, and I love you to my wife. Day 14, 1 TAC 2. Yet another uneventful day. We didn't do a whole lot today, but the day did go by kind of quick. Actually, never mind. Today was pretty eventful in a way. All of us had to go to dental today, and nearly everyone had to get teeth pulled. So we have a ton of people that stayed in bed all day in pain. The rest of us just had to go and get our teeth cleaned, while everyone's out getting their teeth pulled. The RDCs made the rest of us stay behind and deep clean the compartment. Easy day, but very boring to be honest. The officer of the deck called a handful of us down to the first floor to shovel snow from the grinder. The grinder's space where you form up to march off. It was super easy and honestly a nice change of pace. The only downside to it is there was so many of us doing it that we got it done super fast. Soon after we finished, it was time for the rest of us to go to dental and get our work done. Our trip took only a fraction of the time that everyone else's did, which was a bummer, but still nice to get out for a brief time. Other than that, really not much happened today. We got a couple ASMO-ins again, both of which are supposed to graduate this Friday, but couldn't pass the final PFA, and the other got pneumonia and couldn't participate in battle stations. They both got set back 3 weeks because of it. Pretty shitty deal. I also found out my old rack mate is getting processed out for medical reasons. I feel bad for him. I know he worked hard to get here, and it's all being taken away due to something that's completely out of his control. Shitty day. So, this happened quite a few times. There were a lot of people in our division that had some sort of medical issue or something, some sort of security check didn't pan out, and so that's why they really tell you to be honest when you go into boot camp, because I mean, you're going to go through all of this crap for nothing if you try to go in and you have some sort of issues with you. So just remember to be honest and do what you need to do to get through boot camp, and you will be golden. But I think that's where we're going to leave the videos for today. So once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe down below, and we will see you next time for episode 5.